And now, insurance-minded speeches from Geico.
It's a common expression, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. However, what if the horse's mouth is filled with useful insurance tools? This is the exact case with the Geico app. Yes, the app is free and therefore a gift horse. However, look inside the app and behold, emergency roadside assistance, digital ID cards, bill pay. Get the Geico app. Look it in the mouth. Get amazing services. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm the host of No BS Job Search Advice Radio, and this is episode 956 of this show as I wind up my year focused on interviewing. Today's show is about behavioral interview questions, and I want to be clear. These are questions you should prepare for. I don't offer answers, but I offer the questions for you to do your homework with, and they're great questions for many of you. Hope you enjoy this show, hope you find it helpful, and I hope you do the work, because it's not just enough to think of the answers or spontaneously combust on the interview as though miraculously everything is going to come out of your mouth perfectly. Only practice is going to help you do that, and with behavioral questions, especially if you follow the SOAR format, S-O-A-R, situation, objective, action, and result, especially the result measured in terms of money saved or money earned, you will score well with your answers. So hope you find this helpful. And by the way, if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, send a connection request to me at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. And if you're interested in my coaching you, listen to the end of the show. There's information about that there as well. Now, let's get going. Today I thought I would do a show or a video about behavioral interview questions. And I'm not going to offer answers to these. I'm just going to simply provide questions for you to prepare for. The idea that I have here is most of these are pretty straightforward. You don't need me to package an answer for you because I don't think there's a lot of complexity here. I think the reality is the question is what it is. And if you hear it in advance, you can start thinking about how you would answer it. So the first one is a problem-solving question. Describe a difficult problem you had to solve to sort out at your last job. Then from there, there's a question about initiative. Describe a new idea or suggestion that you made to your supervisor recently. I would just ask them what recently means to them, but even if you don't, you can just pick out a question from your past and pick out a solution from your past and give them that statement. With regard to judgment, tell me when you had to use your judgment to make a tough decision in your previous job. See what I mean? Most of these are things that if you thought about in advance, you'd be prepared for. Describe a time when you were faced with a stressful situation and used your coping skills. Tell me about a time when you received negative feedback from your manager. How did you handle this? This is a question about resilience. Adaptability is covered with, tell me about a time you had to quickly adjust your work priorities to meet changing demands. Reliability. Some of these types of questions aren't that hard. Again, this one's about reliability. Tell me about a time you made a mistake at work and how did you deal with it? Integrity. Has your manager or supervisor ever asked you to do something that you were uncomfortable with? How did you handle it? Your energy. Tell me about a time you had to work at a fast pace for an extended period of time. How did you maintain your pace? Tenacity. Tell me about the longest time it took you to conclude a deal with a customer, or describe a situation when you had to overcome a number of obstacles to achieve an objective. And attention to detail. Describe what you do to control mistakes in your work. Dealing with high standards. Tell me about a time you were not satisfied with your work performance. What did you do about it? Organizing and planning. Describe a situation in which you had to schedule your activities to meet a work objective. Like I said, these aren't difficult if you hear them in advance, but often what happens is you sit there and the pressure of being in the interview and feeling like you have to have an instant answer starts to weigh heavily upon you. And that's when you come up with mediocre answers as opposed to insightful, deep ones. So take a little time doing some homework with these. I hope you found it helpful. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here's a few ways to engage with me. First of all, I just want to say that I no longer do recruiting. I coach people to perform at a high level. So again, I no longer do recruiting. But if you visit my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us, look at the tabs on the top and you'll see a menu of choices for you. First of all, you can hire me to do a resume and or LinkedIn profile critique, interview preparation, helping you with a salary negotiation, answering your question, advising you about a decision you have to make about job offers. That's all there is an option. I can do a job search makeover with you where we critique everything you've been doing in your search up until that point and come up with alternatives. If you're relatively early in your search, we can do a complete coaching program where I work with you from beginning to end. It's in half-hour increments, so it doesn't take a lot of time in each session, and that's another way you can do it. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/The Big Game Hunter. Mention that you listen to the show because I love hearing with folks who like the show and are interested in my help. Lastly, I also want to mention I've got a lot of information at thebiggamehunter.us, and at times it seems like it's too much. So you can look at the best of my material at JobSearchCoachingHQ.com, where I have curated information that you can watch, listen to, or read that will help you find work more quickly. Again, that's JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. I'll be back tomorrow with more, and in the meantime, hope you have a great day. Take care.